Okay. Hi, folks. It's Peg. I know it's been a while. Let me see what I can do with all of this stuff because, as you may have noticed, I'm in a new place with all new everything, and I'm not sure how it's working. So let me see uh, if it's coming through. Videos. Home. Hmm. Maybe. This is all new. I just did a short. I just did a short trying to get things going here. Look at my channel videos, public. Nope. It says I'm streaming on StreamYard, but I'm not seeing it on YouTube. Ah, there it is. Ha 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 ha. I found it. Okay, maybe I can. Yeah, I'm just going to put that up there and see if I can change my chat to settings. Live chat is on. And I'm going to set it to subscribers. Okay. Maybe that'll work. So, this has been quite the spring for us. I sold my other house and moved cities, and am now trying to get organized. It's a challenge. I decluttered a lot when we moved just because I didn't have time to do a lot of sorting and moving. And so a lot of things got crammed into drawers that didn't belong in the drawers that they came here in. And a lot of things got purged because I had to make quick decisions. Now, a lot of things came with me because I couldn't make a quick enough decision. And so now I need to deal with that stuff. As you can see, I've done some organizing in this room, and half of this room is not studio and half of it is. So it's a very small space, and I'm trying to learn to live in this small space because we had a large house. I had multiple studios because I had a big garage where I could go out and paint, a patio where I could go out and work. I had a downstairs studio, which was half of the basement. And then I had my upstairs studio, which was half of the living space. So trying to take that, all of that, and condense it into half of a room is my challenge for right now. And I wanted to share with you some of what my process is going to be and how I'm going to make the changes that I need to survive in this space and keep it organized. Now, there are a lot of things that I have had trouble parting with. If you see back here, some of my favorites are paints and inks. And I'm going to have to make some decisions about a lot of that. I'm going to have to be purging some of my favorite paints because I don't have room for them any longer. So I'll be making decisions. Like over here, I have a drawer full. Where is it? That's ink. This is, oh, that's markers. Where's my, okay, maybe it's over in that one over there. See, I don't even know where my drawers are yet. Yeah, watercolor. Watercolor is over there. I'm going to have to go through and sort some of that stuff out. And so I think one of the things I'm going to do is tomorrow I'm going to go to the post office and I'm going to get some of those shipping boxes, which is something I've done before. And as I sort, I'm going to get my piles organized. I'm going to get the pile of stuff that's just junk. Like this bin over here is paper, ephemera, that kind of stuff. And I haven't determined what of this I'm going to keep and what I'm going to get rid of. Maybe make some packages for projects. And then the things that I'm going to toss, I'll toss. The things that are usable for other crafters, I will put in surprise boxes and I will sell them at a very reasonable cost. You know, and do a flat rate shipping box and ship that stuff to whoever wants the surprise box. And, you know, there may be some different boxes depending on what it is I'm doing. Like I was going through today and I was like, these are all dye that are just loose. And what I was doing, let me switch you down to my other camera. Okay, so here's my desktop. And so you can see in here, of course this says stamps because it was just a container that I had. But in here I have a lot of just loose dyes. And I need to determine how I'm going to store these. One of the ways that I started today, and I need to get some more packaging, I think, is I had some of these different Sizzix packages. And so I started organizing the dies I was going to keep into some of these, and they're going to fit into an IKEA drawer right here beside me. Because when I'm ready to do some die cutting, I want to have easy access to these. And I don't know if these are going to stay in this drawer here. They could, just because they fit. That's a challenge, right? Finding spaces where these things are going to fit, because the reason I chose these small packages is because this is one of those IKEA drawers. It's a little bit deeper, and I think it's an is that Alex or can't remember exactly, but the top two drawers in this unit are smaller, and then the bottom three are a little bit deeper. So I have all of these things that I need to determine, am I keeping or am I putting these into a box to get sold? Now, some of my dies, and I can show you that. Let me put this back in the drawer because this actually fits in the drawer right now with those other containers, but I need to go through that. These are stencils and things that I need to deal with. And right now, the small ones I've got on these binder rings, and that's working for me, but I haven't determined what I'm going to do about these great big ones. These do not fit in a binder. They do, because they're big. So I've got to find something that I can do with those. Let me hang these out of the way because I do have a hook that I can put those on. The other thing that I have too much of are all of these stamps and dies. I did not take the time to go through all of this before I moved. So I will be going through, let's see if I can get this up a little bit higher. I will be going through these tubs with stamps and dies and things. So in here, you can see that I also have other die. These are things that I picked up that I don't think I've even used. They were probably on sale. And I have used these from, I won't get rid of these because these are Seth After, and I don't think these are being made any longer. So I definitely will keep these. Not sure about these other ones. I like the feather, but I need to determine, what do I have and what do I need to keep and what do I need to get rid of. So a lot of these are going to find new homes. And then when I go through my stamps, I'm going to have to be judicious on this too, because one thing that I know I love are these things that are combos. Like this has a stamp and a stencil combo. But how many flower stamp and stencil combos do I need? And the other thing is, of the stamps that I own, I really love the red rubber stamps. I'm not a big fan of the acrylic stamps. So this package has both in it. It has a rubber stamp, which is like this. So I might end up combining this with something else that's a rubber stamp. And I'm trying to figure out who made this stamp. I don't know. And maybe Purge the ones like this that are acrylic, because they're not my favorites. Although I do like the acrylics that are in these types of containers that are small and can be organized into a tub. So when I look at the stamps, I will be looking at, is it something that I will use again? Does it have purpose for me? So some of these, oh, that's another big die. That's that big butterfly die from Tim Holtz. Oh, maybe these are all dies. No, no, see here? This is a stamp and die set where I put it together so that when I go to use this, I can find it. But what I need to do for some of these is just go ahead and make these and put them into my ephemera grouping and then maybe purge the whole set. Because, you know, how many times are you going to use this one? Same thing here. You know, there's a number of these types of sets where I've got, you know, how many flower thinlets do I need? So maybe I can take something like this if I'm going to keep this flower one because it has multiple pieces that I could use and put more of the flower ones that dies that I'm going to keep in here with this and just have this one container for floral dye. So that's a thought. Here's one where I've done something similar to that. These are all of those Impression Obsession little mini die. And I noticed right away, here's this rabbit. Well, if I look at the box that I had out earlier, and this is where it's going to take some sorting. I think I had in here a whole bunch. So maybe I should sort these out into shapes, words. Looks like I have shapes, words, nature, an assortment of things. But like here's some floral ones. You know, we were just talking about floral dye. There's another floral dye. You know, so if I start sorting out all of these, you see I have way more than I'm going to need in my lifetime. Another floral dye. And guess what? Here it is. Here's the bunny rabbit. Here's little rabbits and here's bigger rabbits. So, do I put the rabbits together? Do I purge one or the other? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. How are you going to use it? And what's most important to you? The space, the organization. Have you ever used it? Will you use it in the future? Do you have a project in mind? That sort of thing. So this is going to be a long drawn out process. So I'm probably not going to work at this for a long time tonight, but you can see where I'm starting from. And if you're interested in doing something like this in your own space, you know, recently when Shell and I got together, she was talking about her space and what she was going to do. And I need to, okay, so this whole tub is stamps and dies and, you know, things that go together. So I'm going to have to determine, am I going to make a space for stamp and die combo? Am I going to, how am I going to sort all of those die that don't have a combination? That's going to go back in that drawer. And these are going to go back in this tub until I take the time to do that, because this would get pretty boring for you guys if I went through this whole tub. But let me give you an example of something else. So I'm going to set that one aside, and I've got another tub. This one may look quite organized, but you know, it's also full of things that I'm not sure if I'm going to use. A lot of this is oh, yeah, okay. These are alphabets. So everybody needs some alphabets, but how many alphabets do I need? So I need to put all my alphabets together and determine which ones I'm keeping. These are red rubber, so that's good. These are Patty Parrish, so those are, you know, specific to her designs, and I like those. These are great for backgrounds and collage and that sort of thing. So Patty did a great job on these stamps, and I will not be purging those. Paper Artsy, there's probably some of this Paper Artsy I can get rid of. Some of it's good for what we were just talking about, and some of it is, you know, they make me laugh, or, you know, it's that kind of stuff. Like, here's one I got because it was from my friend Gwen LaFleur, and I just don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to use this. So I should probably stamp a few sheets of this, put the sheets in my stash, and then purge the stamp set, because how many times am I going to use that particular stamp set, right? Here's another Paper Artsy. This one is from Tracy Scott. Yeah, you can see flowers and butterflies. I am so attracted to flowers and butterflies. So I need to pare down my number of flowers and butterflies. This is a Tailored Expressions stamp set that I have used. You can see I've colorized this, but like I said, I can spend a day, stamp a bunch of stuff out that I can color later, and get rid of the set, because I don't need that many floral sets. This one looks like a Tim Holtz, or it's an old one because it doesn't even have printing on the back. You know, nowadays they print everything on the back side. So okay. Looking to see if anybody has joined me. And I don't see anybody in the live chat. It's late. What time is it? It is about 1 o'clock, and I'm still up debating what to do about this stuff. And that's one of the things that's happening to me, is I'm laying awake at night thinking about this stuff, and I should just go ahead and get it done. More Dina Wakley. I I like some of her stamps, but yeah, I think I will be purging quite a few of those, even though they are red rubber, just because I can draw that stuff, you know. I don't need I think I got it because it was quick and easy, but I mean, hers are pretty rudimentary. So yeah, and am I going to break up a bunch of stamp sets and, you know, save the stamps out of it that I like and purge the rest? I don't think so. I think if there's some stamps in here that I like, I'll go ahead and stamp a sheet of them and get rid of the whole set, because I don't need to keep holding on to things. This one I've used a lot, these faces. I have videos out there where I did journal pages using these. So, and honestly, I think I picked this up after I took a class with Dina. She came to Davenport, which wasn't too far from where I was living. And I took a class with her there and used that for her class stuff. But you can see these are things that are space takers. I definitely need to. And look at these. These haven't even been rehoused. It must have been something that I bought when they were having a sale. And I have not even used them. How sad is that? Yeah. So maybe rehomed. Oh, now I'm into Diane Reevely stamps. And I think a lot of these are going to get rehomed too, because I don't need these. More butterfly. Yep, there's more Dina Wakley. Dina Wakley. Yeah, so this whole tub, I think, is Ranger or Stampers Anonymous stamps. Huh. I like that one. I haven't used it. Sorry. The autofocus must be on. How do I turn that off? Go to settings. Settings. And yeah, I haven't this is the first time I've used this setup here. So I hope it's okay. Automatic. It's been a while, guys. Give me some grace. It's been a while because yeah, I left for Florida in December and put a bid on this space then, and by the first week of February, I was up here closing on this property and trying to sell my other property. So, and in the meanwhile, we were traveling because it was winter and I did not want to come back north. Get a little sip of coffee here. So, yeah. So you can see my dilemma. You can see what I'm facing here. And what I will probably do is I will post some stuff in the Art Joy Sharing group when I'm going to do some purging. So if you guys have questions and things, you can join me as I work on this. And, you know, maybe even give me a shout out if you see a box of stuff that I'm purging that you, hey, just that's gotta be your box. Because believe me, I am going to be purging. I've got a tray of jewelry making stuff over there. Like I said, I've got watercolor stuff because I have about every kind of water medium there is. Let me change the settings here. I'm going to change the camera to one where I can see you guys when I'm talking to you. Okay. Yeah. So, and that's another thing that I'm going to have to work on is I have an awful lot of markers and pencils and like I said, I love my inks, but I need to figure out what I work with the most and what are my favorites and what I'm going to use. So I have like all those different water mediums. I've got markers, and I have alcohol markers. I have water-based markers. You know, so these are Stabilo markers, and I don't think that these move with water. But then I've got a whole bunch of different markers. I've got the watercolor brushes that are full of ink that, you know, I filled myself to do colorization with. And then I've got all of those markers up there that, you know, I need to determine which markers I like the best and which ones I'm going to keep. Like I love my big brush markers because I can color on rubber and stamp with it. I can use them for shading. So I will definitely be keeping my big brush markers. But I also have a lot of other types of like Tombow and La Plume and Amazon and what is it? Who, something like that. I don't know. Lots of different kinds of markers. And how many markers does one gal need? Okay, as an example, paint markers, right? These are a whole drawer of paint markers. Okay, not only do I have that whole drawer full of paint markers, I have a whole zipper container of paint markers. So I need to go through that and pare it down to, you know, nothing more than one drawer at least. And I'll show you. See, a lot of this stuff I was buying when it was on sale because the price was right. Like this is my Posca set, right? This is new last fall because they were running a special on this. Well, I can fit that in that drawer with some other markers, but then there's still a whole lot of stuff that needs to go. But let me show you what this looks like. And this can go on the go with me. Like I can go, we have a craft room here and a party room and that kind of stuff. And I can take this case with me when I go do things. I mean, even outside I can take it. But you see what that looks like? So how many paint markers am I going to keep? Not all that. Some of that's going into a box. So I had no idea I was moving. I really didn't. It was one of those things where my son says to me, I think you ought to come and look at this place. It's in a good neighborhood. It's got, all the amenities. It's got a swimming pool. It's got a exercise room, da, 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 da. You might like it. And I thought to myself, well, I'll look, but I don't know. I mean, moving right now is a big job because I've got my husband and we've got all these things going on, and I'm going to Florida and we're going to be gone the whole winter, da, 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 da. Yeah, I came, I looked, I bought. And then I had to move because my house sold, and which is a good thing because I wanted to flip the money from the house to this place. But when your house sells, well, then you've got 35 years of accumulation in a large space that's going down to a 2-bedroom condo. What was I thinking? We had a 2.5 stall garage. I had my whole pantry in the basement. Where am I going to put all that stuff? Because I was canning and gardening, and you're not going to be doing all of the things when you're living like this. But it was a good decision for us because I'm not getting any younger, and Ron definitely isn't getting any younger, and he had a lot of things that needed to be taken care of by his doctors, and so this was the best choice for us. So come along with me as I work through this stuff. It's going to be a process, and maybe you have some really good ideas for me. Put them in the comments, share what your thoughts are about how best to go about this. I think probably 2/3 of what I've got here needs to still go, and I cannot tell you the volume of stuff I got rid of. Some of it I regret a little bit already, and then I think about how I can make changes. Like I was thinking about, I had a drying rack for my papers, when I was inking papers and doing all of that. Oh, and I do have a patio out there that gets quite warm. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to string some laundry cord. What do you call that? Like when the campers have those retractable laundry cords to hang papers from out on the patio. I think I'm going to get some retractable clothesline. Those were the words I was searching for. I'm going to get a retractable clothesline and put it out on the patio so that when I have things that need to hang and dry, I got a place to put them, because I don't have a clothesline here. I don't have a folding clothes rack, and I don't have the floor space to put it in. And seems like a good option for me. What do you guys think? Is that a doable thing? Anyway, I'm going to, as I go through things like the markers, I've got my painter's color diary here, and I had started this some time ago with, like, these are my golden fluid acrylics. I will not be parting with them. And these are my deco art colors. Now, I have been a deco art artist, and I like their products, but I've swatched it. If I need it, I can buy it, but I don't need all the deco art colors because I'm not really working for them right now. And I really like the golden acrylics. So the deco will be going. I have a lot of distress paint. I think I may limit what I have in the distress paint and only keep a few of them. The thing I like about the distress is they are matte. They seem to be a nice matte finish. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that. It's like the Blick. The Blick matte is very much like the distress. So probably can eliminate some of that. I also have, and I have not put it in my color diary yet, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep them, are my paper artsy paints. I've got a whole tub of paper artsy paints. And the thing about them is I love the colors, and they are also kind of a that's for another day, another mess to clean. Paper artsy. Then I still have a lot of these tube paints too. And I don't need, I think I will be judicious with these and only keep the ones that I'm going to use on my gel plate. I'll probably keep some primaries. Of course, my Payne's Gray and my oatmeal colors, but the rest of that can go. But see, these are nice and matte too. These are the paper artsy. So I may just keep this whole tray and use it up, or try to use it up, because they're really nice colors. They're really nice colors. Swatch them. Get them swatched and figure out what I'm doing. Oh. Huh. That belongs in with my ink. See? I have a big job ahead of me. So I'll let you know when I'm going to be here working on this stuff, and you can work along with me. And, I may just be joining a bunch of other people's streams too and working on this stuff while I'm watching other people's videos, because I do that too. So that's where I am in this whole project, guys. Wish me luck. Give me comments about how best to serve me and my space, and bring me joy in what I'm doing, so that I can find the things that I need and stay organized, because it's a challenge right now. It's a lot of things came with me that not sure why. I think it was just I was in a rush and I didn't want to have to make a determination. So life goes on, right? Anyway, I wish you all joy, happiness, and make some art today. Bye, guys.